sit out this vote, okay? District 2, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 3, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 4, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I, as chairman, vote yes. So is all in favor of Mr. Frank Daniels serving as vice chair of county council for 2019 and 20? We're going to vote on that now. So District 2, how do you vote? That was, let me back up. I voted on the nomination. That's what the vote was for.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So now we're voting.
Now we're voting. We're actually confirmed.
Okay. Yes.
You're not it yet, Mr. Frank. Hold on one second. So all in favor of Mr. Frank Daniels serving as vice chair of the county council for 2019 and 2020. District 2, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 3, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 4, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I, as chairman, vote yes. So the vote is unanimous as for Mr. Frank Daniel to be vice chair of county council 2019-2020. Congratulations. This time I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes for December 18th, 2018. Do I have a second? Second. Is there any discussion? If not, we'll call for the vote. District 1, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 2, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 3, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 4, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I, as chairman, vote yes. So the minutes have been approved. At this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Gwen Sheely to come around. First, I want to personally say thank you. As you know, we ran against each other for chairman, and a lot of times when things like that happen, people get ill and angry with each other and work against each other. But I can honestly say this is a precious lady. She took me under her wings and helped me through my first year, kept me from drowning from the fire hose that I drank through. We do thank you very much, Ms. Queen. And the plaque says, in grateful appreciation of Council Member Gwen C. Sheely for her dedicated service to the citizens of Saluda County and Saluda County Council, January 1st, 2011 through December 31st, 2018.
Thank you so much. So do I get the floor now?
Thank you.
First of all, it's been an honor and a pleasure for the past 8 years to serve the county. I said I wasn't going to cry. I'm not going to cry. This is the most wonderful place there is to live. Having been born and raised here and living away and then coming back, it's like I never left. As a matter of fact, I had to keep my high school annuals with me so that I could access them when someone would speak to me, because you know, I could remember what they looked like in high school. And so that was a challenge at first. My family always supported me, and for that I'm very grateful. A couple of things I want you to be aware of. First of all, you don't see what goes on behind the scenes. And, well, they're up here and they have their discussion, public discussion, and votes. There's an awful lot of work and heart that goes in the background to get to the point where they are up here. Please respect that, because sometimes you can't just talk about everything and anything. They have to be very careful whenever they make any kind of public presentation, so always respect that and know that they are working really hard, always. couple of things that I want you to be aware of. This is probably the youngest council, not in age, the youngest council, because 80% of them have been here 2 years or less. But it is impressive to see how they're pulling together, and I believe they're going to continue to do so. My only concern is that this county is about 50% women. One of you is going to need to put on some lipstick. So, bear in mind, I always like to see women in leadership positions. I think that they are often underestimated. I am especially honored that I was the third woman that's ever served on council, and that's especially an honor for Saluda County. And the county employees, always respect them. I see quite a few of you here tonight. You have always had my back, and I will always have yours, because this is a wonderful group of people. They work really hard behind the scenes. You don't always know what's going on with them, because they're busy, but respect the fact that they're like ducks. They're looking pretty smooth on top, but underneath they're really paddling. So always keep that in mind. And then the staff here in this building, don't just look at them as being the help. They have continuity. They've been here a long time, and they know the history of all of the issues. And if it's something they don't know, you can bet they're going to be the ones to find it out. And they're going to be very quick and efficient about it. And I love that about these two women here, and Johnny and Regina, and then Julia whenever she is over here. But thank you very much. I am honored. Take care of yourselves, and I love you.
I will say this, if you've ever had any doubt that Gwen Shealy loves Saluda County, I can tell you, she loves Saluda County very much. One more time, let's let her know we appreciate what she's done. All right, at this time, do we have any reports from the county officials?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd just like to thank the council their vote and their support, and we look forward to 2019.
Well, Happy New Year, and I look forward to seeing what we can do in the coming year to better the county.
And we'll introduce our new council member, Justin Anderson.
Thank you. I really have nothing at this time. Just want to thank you all for being here. Appreciate the support, and I look forward to 2019 and what it holds for us.
We got two of them wearing orange. That speaks well. Looking forward to a good year. Great year. Thank you.
All right. And congratulations to the Clemson Tigers for those that are wearing orange. I do have my red and black on for the Georgia Bulldogs, but that's okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Someone said something about my colors and me being a Georgia fan. I said, well, I can proudly wear my colors in South Carolina when you own the record on Carolina and Clemson. So anyway, moving on. Back to business at hand. Okay. At this time, we're going to have open for public hearing on ordinance number 1018. This is an ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances, Saluda County, South Carolina, Chapter 6, Building and Building Regulations, Section 6-7, Distance and Setback Requirements. Right now, the current distance and setback requirements read as: no structure shall be located closer than 25 feet to the right-of-way of a street or closer than 25 feet from another structure. All structures must have a minimum setback of 10 feet from property line. The recommended distance and setback requirements would read as: no structure shall be located closer than 25 feet to the right-of-way of a street or closer than 20 feet from another structure. All structures must have a minimum setback in 10 feet from property line. In the past, if one property owner built a structure 10 feet from the property line, then at such time the adjoining property owner wanted to build a structure, that structure had to be 15 feet from the property line. By changing to 20 feet from another structure, adjoining property owners would equally have to meet the 10-foot requirement for the property line. So at this time, we'll open for the public hearing. If there's anyone to speak. If not, we'll close the public hearing on that. Next is a public hearing on ordinance number 11-18, an ordinance to amend ordinance number 06-14 to change section 5, use of premises of the T-Hanger lease agreement attached to and made a part of ordinance number 06-14. The following amendment would be added to section 5A. Upon signing the lease agreement, the leasee has 30 days to place an airworthy aircraft in the hangar. Extensions may be granted on a case-by-case basis as approved by the Airport Commission. County Council, by the way of County Director, will be notified in writing of any extensions granted. And this time, if we have anyone that would like to speak to this. All right, if no one speaks, the public hearing is closed. Next, we have the public hearing on ordinance number 13-18. It's an ordinance to grant Saluda County Water and Sewer Authority the option to purchase 2 tracts of real property located off of North Balknot Ferry Road in Saluda County, composed of 17.2 acres tract and a 4.6 acre tract, totaling 21.8 acres, being a portion of tax map number 099-00-00-016. The total is 21.8 acres for a total purchase price of $114,300 with purchase options as set forth in the agreement. This time we'll open the public hearing if there's anyone to speak. No one's to speak. The public hearing section is closed. This time we'll move into our old business. We'll ratify Rosa S. Berry and Sheila W. Horn's resolutions. I'd like to entertain a motion to ratify these resolutions for Rosa S. Berry and Sheila W. Horn. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Plus, I had the opportunity to work with both of these ladies while I was here working for the IT department, and it was a pleasure to work with both of them. I saw how hard they both work for the county.
I think it's worthy of commending each of them, the amount of years that they served Saluda County. That's to be commended. Thank you for your service.
I also would like to thank those individuals, Ms. Berry and Ms. Holmes, for those years of dedication to Saluda County. It truly be missed.
There's no further discussion. We'll call for the vote. District 1, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 2, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 3, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 4, how do you vote?
Yes.
I, as chairman, vote yes. So they are ratified. This time we'll entertain a motion for the third reading on ordinance number 10-18, an ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances, Saluda County, South Carolina, Chapter 6, Building and Building Regulations, Section 6-7, Distance and Setback Requirements. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? The amendment will read, no structure shall be located closer than 25 feet to the right-of-way of a street or closer than 20 feet from another structure. All structures must have a minimum setback of 10 feet from the property line. At this time, we'll call for the vote. District 1, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 2, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 3, how do you vote?
No.
District 4, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I, as chairman, vote yes. So this amendment has passed. All right, I entertain a motion for third reading on ordinance number 11-18, an ordinance to amend ordinance number 06-14 to change section 5, use of premises of the T-hanger lease agreement attached to and made part of ordinance number 06-14. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? The following amendment would be added to section 5A, and upon signing the lease agreement, the leasee has 30 days to place an airworthy aircraft in the hangar. Extensions may be granted on a case-by-case basis as approved by the Airport Commission. County Council, by the way of County Director, will be notified in writing on any extensions granted. This time we'll call for the vote. District 1, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 2, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 3, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 4, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I, as chairman, vote yes. This motion has passed. This time we'll entertain a motion for third reading on ordinance number 13-18. An ordinance to grant Saluda County Water and Sewer Authority the option to purchase 2 tracts of real property located off of North Balknight Ferry Road in Saluda County, composed of a 17.2 acre tract and a 4.6 acre tract, totaling 21.8 acres, being a portion of tax map number 099-00-00-016. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
So I think this has the potential to do great things for Saluda County if everything works out.
Read this again, that the total was 21.8 acres for a total purchase price of $114,300 with purchase options as set forth in the agreement. This will definitely help us in our economic development as we move forward. So at this time, we'll call for a vote. District 1, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 2, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 3, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 4, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I, as chairman, vote yes. So this motion has passed. This time we'll entertain a motion for the second reading of ordinance number 12-18. An ordinance authorizing and approving, 1, the development of a new joint county industrial and business park, Project Scott, pursuant to section 4-1-170 of the Code of Laws of South Carolina, 1976. As amended in conjunction with Edgeville County, the park, such park to be geographically located in Edgeville County and to include the aforementioned project. The execution and delivery of a written park agreement with Edgeville County as to the requirement of payments of fee in lieu and of ad valorem taxes with respect to park property, and the sharing of the revenue and expenses of the park. 3, the distribution of revenue from the park to the counties and relevant taxing entities and other matters related thereto. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a motion? Sorry.
Motion.
I thought you were.
Well, I thought it was too, but I have been corrected. Can you tell this is the first meeting of the year?
I just thought you were doing it this style.
Right. So I have a motion, but I have a second.
Second.
Okay. All right. Project Scott is an existing company in Edgefield County that has an expansion plan, and as part of the fee and lieu arrangement with Edgefield County, we're special source revenue credits. In order to receive the special source revenue credits, the company has to be in a multi-county industrial park. And Edgefield County asked Saluda County to consider being in the non-host sponsor of the park, which is basically on paper, and there is no infrastructure or maintenance. Edgefield County will retain 99%, and Saluda County will receive 1% of the fee in lieu of tax. So at this time, we'll call for the vote. District 1, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 2, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 3, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 4, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I, as chairman, vote yes. So the motion has passed. All right. Now for our new business, I'm going to read into the record our county council committees for 2019 and 2020. Administration and Finance will be myself as chairman and full council. Public Safety will be Councilman Anderson as chair and Councilman Butler. Health and Welfare is Councilman Miller as chair and Councilman Anderson. County Planning is myself as chairman and Councilman Miller. Economic Development is myself as chair and Council Miller. Public Works, which is solid waste, is Councilman Daniels as chairman and myself. Public Works 2 is Roads and Bridges, which is Councilman Butler as chair and Councilman Daniel. Education is myself as chairman and full council. Justice is Councilman Anderson as chair and Councilman Butler. Agriculture, Forestry, and Military Affairs is Councilman Butler as chair and Councilman Daniels. County-owned property is Councilman Daniels as chair and myself. Quality of Life is Councilman Miller as chair and Councilman Anderson. And next we have consideration to authorize a request for qualifications for engineering and consulting services for the Saluda County Airport. The airport's current consultant engineering agreement has expired, and if we would like to receive airport improvement plan funding for future engineering services, Saluda County will need to go through a selection process in accordance with FAA Advisory Circular 150/5100-14E. Change. Agricultural engineering and planning consultant services for airport grant projects. Per the advisory circular, the process must be accomplished using a qualification-based selection procedure. And this is something that has to be in place for us to receive federal money and stuff. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to authorize staff to develop a request for qualification package for engineering and consulting services for the Saluda County Airport. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? If not, we'll call for the vote. District 1, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 2, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 3, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 4, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I, as chairman, vote yes. So this motion is passed. At this time, we'll recognize our Fire Service Coordinator, Josh Morton, for consideration to reimburse the Fire Board rollover account from the Fire Board millage account for the purchase of a tanker, and consideration to allocate funding for the Fire Board millage account to rebuild the pump on the tanker. And we will do these in two motions.
All right, so the first thing that we're going to be asking you to do is to reimburse the Fire Board rollover account $13,500 that was used to purchase a used tanker. The reason for this purchase, as y'all are aware, we've been working through the process of doing a countywide hauled water ISO rating. And the purpose behind doing that is we're trying to tackle the problem of the increased insurance rates that we've seen in the county across the past couple of years. As part of our getting ready for that, one of the gaps that we identified was the fact that we did not have a tanker at the Saluda station right here in the middle of the county, which is an automatic response for pretty much every other department in the county. So in order to make sure we had enough water rolling to house fires, we were looking for a used tanker. Just to kind of give you an idea, the last tanker that we bought new, we paid just shy of $250,000 for, and that did not include any equipment. That was just the truck. So we had been on the lookout, and back in November, we were very fortunate to be able to find a used tanker that was at Lake Cunningham Fire Department up in Spartanburg County. We got a very good deal on it. We paid $12,000 on Gov Deals, and then we had a $1,500 buyer's premium for that truck. So the total of that was $13,500. The way that that purchase was funded at the time was we took money out of the Fire Board rollover account, which I will explain in just a moment, to make that purchase. Just to kind of give you an idea as far as the reason we're here tonight, the Fire Board basically has 3 different pots of money available to us. The first is the budget that is given by council each year. The second is what we call the Fire Board rollover account. This was established by council several years ago, years before I got here, and basically the idea is normally whenever a county department has leftover funds at the end of the year, that goes back into the county general fund. They established that whatever funding was left over in the Fire Board budget would go into a separate account called the rollover account that was to be used for emergency purchases, for any overages that we might have. For example, we get budgeted about $40,000 a year for repairs to our trucks. This year, actually just today, I was dealing with a truck repair that's going to be about $8,000 on its own. We spend about $20,000 in maintenance. So a lot of times we have to pull money out of that pot to kind of help with what we don't have enough funding for. So that's where that is. At this point in time, we actually had a significant amount sitting in the rollover account because we actually just ordered large order turnout gear. And rather than ordering one order at the end of the year and ordering another order at the beginning of the next year, we actually consolidated that. We were able to order 2 years worth of gear at once, giving us a better rate. So we had the money sitting in the account to cover this amount. So the third pot of money is the Fire Board millage account. And basically that is 1 mil that is set aside in a separate account each year that is to build up to purchase fire trucks with, is basically what it has always been used for. We currently have 2 tankers that we are paying, making payments on out of that account at about $36,000 a year. I believe that's the correct amount. That's all that comes out of that account. Since I've been here, to my knowledge, that's the only thing that has come out of that account is that funding. So again, we're just asking that money, this $13,500, be transferred from that account to the Fire Board rollover account. The reason I'm here asking you is because that's the one account that we can't tap into without your permission. You have to give us the go-ahead on that. Now, the question you probably ask yourself is, why didn't we get this request before we bought the tanker? We had a very quick turnaround. As I mentioned, we found it on Gov Deals with a very short time period to make a decision on whether or not to make a purchase. And I consulted with the county director as well as the chairman of the county council before the purchase was done, and got their blessing on the purchase. So that being said, that's the first part of it, is the request to reimburse that.
Okay. So at this time, we'll entertain a motion to transfer $13,500 from the Fire Board millage account to the Fire Board rollover account for reimbursement of the purchase of a used 1,500-gallon tanker to fill a gap in tanker coverage for the upcoming ISO rating. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
You know, I appreciate you finding deals whenever you can, and I appreciate the explanation of the accounts and how they work together.
What years is the
It's
truck?
in '94. So, it is an older truck, but it is in, very good shape. It was very well maintained, by the previous owners. And I'll get into this in just a moment whenever I talk about it a second, but we actually thought there was a problem with the pump on the truck, when we purchased it, and, turns out that it was something very simple and it was able to be fixed, very relatively simply. You know, ideally, we would have loved to have been able to go out and buy a newer truck, but again, price-wise, right now, we're just not in a position to be able to do that at that point. So,
This is definitely something that was needed for the ISO rating, which is going to help the majority of the county with their.
yes. And ideally, you know, again, we'd love to be able to always buy new trucks. I'm not a huge fan of going and buying older fire trucks to put back in service. Right now, we are currently making payments on 7 fire trucks that the county purchased in 2005. We have, I believe, after this fiscal year, next fiscal year, I believe, is the final payment on those. And the plan is after that for us to start looking at a rotation to try and get some newer fire trucks into our fleet. So essentially, this is sort of a gap fill to get us to that point, if that makes sense.
No further questions? Not, we'll call for the vote at this time. Again, this is the motion to transfer 13.5 from the fire board millage account to the fire board rollover account for reimbursement of the purchase for a used 1,500 gallon tanker to fill a gap in tanker coverage for the upcoming ISO rating. District 1, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 2, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 3, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 4, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I, as chairman, vote yes, so this motion has passed. This, now if you want to go to
Okay.
the second section there.
All right, as I mentioned, originally, we thought there was an issue with the pump, and actually, when you got this initial, email, we actually were looking at the potential of rebuilding the pump. But we were able to, get that repaired relatively simply. It turned out not to be the pump. The pump wasn't actually the problem, which is a great thing. So what we're asking for right now, we have had to make a few minor repairs to the truck. Estimate those to be around $2,000. We will also need to purchase the equipment to outfit the truck. So we're looking at around $6,000 for that. This is dump tank, hoses, nozzles, stuff like that. You know, nothing exorbitant. We're basically putting the minimum on this truck to get us by. And then also to have the striping done on the truck. We budgeted $500, there. So what we're asking is that an additional $8,500 be authorized to be spent out of the millage account on repairs, equipment, and striping on the new tanker. I'm sorry, an amount not to exceed $8,500. And that would not be transferred out. It would be just spent out of the millage account up to that amount if it's needed.
All right, so at this time, we'll entertain a motion to authorize the fire service coordinator to spend an amount not to exceed $8,500 from the fire board millage account on repairs, equipment, and striping of the new tanker. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? If not, we will call for the vote. District 1, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 2, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 3, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 4, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I, as chairman, vote yes. The motion has passed. Thank you. This time we'll recognize EMS Director Jacob Starnes for consideration for Saline County to issue a letter of intent to purchase a new ambulance for EMS.
Good afternoon.
If
Tonight,
you, let me interrupt you. If you would introduce your guests, so
I'm sorry.
everyone knows.
Eric Vogel with the Mears. Tonight I'm trying to get a consideration for Saluda County Council to issue a letter of intent to purchase a new ambulance Dodge chassis for $44,620. And the reason behind this is trying to get a new ambulance this fiscal year during budget season. However, Dodge only makes so many chassis, so to be able to get put in the mix to even get a Dodge chassis, we have to have a letter of intent to say that we were looking at purchasing them.
Yeah, so to clarify, the way that it works, about 3 years ago, Dodge went into the ambulance market. So just so everybody, for clarification, a Dodge 4500 that you would buy at a Dodge dealership is not the Dodge 4500 you would get when you purchase an ambulance. It is a specific ambulance prep package that comes with an ambulance. So with that, they retool their machines, they go in and they make X amount. 3 years ago, they started with the ambulance prep package. The demand flew out the roof. So they got scared, they actually dialed back. So this year they released to all the manufacturers, they're only making a limited number of that. That exact number I can get back to you. But in order to achieve just the ability to have cohesiveness with Saluda's fleet now with the 4500s, we Demirs, has to put your name on a chassis, especially with it being a silver metallic in color. So with that being said, the letter of intent is for us to go to Dodge and say, we, Demirs, are going to purchase this ambulance with the intent that it will be pigeonholed for Saluda County EMS. So I hope that clarifies a little bit further.
You gentlemen will hold there for a minute. This time I'll entertain a motion to authorize staff to issue a letter of intent to purchase a Demirs chassis in fiscal year 2019-2020 in order to be placed on the manufacturing list. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, at this time, we will, if there's any discussion, questions, this time.
And you said there's a, go ahead.
No, not even on. I just want to confirm that this is a letter of intent, but not a commitment. So if council decides not to purchase, there's nothing that falls back on, against council. Is that correct?
The way I understand it is an intent to purchase. That's just an intent.
Yeah. So what will happen is we will, and the way we do our manufacturing forecast throughout year over year is we actually go to our customers and say, what do you anticipate for this year? So if you guys said 2, we would pigeonhole 2 chassis. Usually with a Ford or Chevy, it's no big deal. We just put your names on it as it goes. If it passes, we ask you 90 days beforehand that your slot is available. If for some reason something happens, we pigeon mark and we move on to the next customer and we put it on that. With this specific case, we just need to know, hey, are you guys really planning on doing a new ambulance, because we have to take a step here. And if we do not take a step here, then we wait till July when everything's funded, you may not have an ambulance. That's just where we are. So does that answer your question? Yeah. Okay.
And after being in the car business for about 15 years, I understood when I met with them about this, because there are only so many made each year. So if we waited, again, we may not even actually spend the money on the new ambulance, but if we wait to say, yeah, we possibly want one, and wait 6 months down the road, there's not going to be one, and we definitely want to keep our ambulances uniform. We don't want a Dodge, a Ford, a Chevy, and a Volkswagen, all these different things. We want them all to look the same.
Basically, if we were to wait till July and say we wanted a Dodge ambulance, we may or may not get it. It may be the actual next year when they manufacture them that we get the chassis, and then wait till the next end of that year to actually get the ambulance. So it could be a year and a half if we wait till July.
Can you explain the difference between the chassis and the ambulance?
The chassis is just straight Dodge cab and the underbelly. The ambulance, the rest of the part is the actual box.
So you consider the ambulance just the box that sits on the back?
Just the box and the equipment that goes in it and everything else. The chassis is literally just the front cab and the back axle.
And the mirrors, is that the Dodge brand name? Or is
So we're the manufacturer of the module. So what we have to do, we always kind of say, you guys pick your horse, which is the chassis, we build the cart. But they go hand in hand, we have to order your horse.
We're still running one over chassis.
Yes, in budget session, my plan is to actually sell one of my spares to help with the cost of this one.
Can you explain what you told me earlier in the email about the warranty on these and about being uniform?
The reason why we initially went with the Demirs is they have a 25-year warranty on their box. So once my whole entire fleet is Demirs, I have two that are not at the moment. Once everything becomes Demirs, we can actually just remount for the next 25 years. And remounting is literally taking the chassis out from under the box, putting another chassis in. So we would only be buying chassis for the next 25 years, which would save over $100,000 each. And
Well, you'd be buying a chassis and then also the process in order to remount them, but yes, your initial upfront cost will be cut about 50 to 60%. And that's just how it works. The way that it's manufactured and produced, it's 25 years or 5 remounts, whatever comes first. So some counties that run 200,000 miles a year, they're gonna go through that faster. With you guys, it should be, based on the conversations I've had with Director Starnes, you should be set for a very long time.
I was driving Union 3 when it turned over 500,000 miles.
I recall that night. I recall that night.
All right. If there's no further discussion, we'll call for the vote. Again, we're voting on a motion to authorize staff to issue a letter of intent to purchase a Demirs chassis in fiscal year 2019-2020 in order to be placed on the manufacturing list. District 1, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 2, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 3, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 4, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I, as chairman, vote yes, so the motion has passed. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
All right, at this time, we'll recognize area livestock and 4-H agent Travis Mitchell and the 4-H agent Darcy Schuler and Saluda County Clemson Extension Service.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Council. First off, just like to thank y'all for your time tonight. Again, my name is Travis Mitchell. I'm an area livestock agent and also the county coordinator for the Saluda County Clemson Extension Service. We are very privileged to serve the citizens of Saluda County. I would like to take this time just to share with you some of the highlights we have coming out of the Saluda County Extension Office. We now have a full-time administrative assistant, Ms. Penny Clary, who keeps the doors open when we are in the classroom or in the field. We process thousands of soil samples, feed samples, and animal waste samples per year right out of the office here in Saluda County. I myself work directly with the livestock producers of this county to help them become more efficient and effective producers. I coordinate the Saluda County replacement heifer sale, which last year alone grossed over $250,000 brought right here into Saluda County to the livestock producers of this county. I coordinate 2 preconditioned steer sales, where in 2018, over 1,700 steers were sold at value-added prices right at Saluda Livestock Market on North Main Street. I plan to coordinate for the Saluda County Cattlemen's Association. This association is South Carolina's largest, over 300 member association, and is by far the most active association in the state. I host over 20 educational programs a year, including field days and on-farm demonstrations. It is a pleasure to have the opportunity to serve the citizens of Saluda County, and we would greatly appreciate your financial support in the future. At this time, I would also like to welcome a new addition to the Saluda County Extension Office, Ms. Darcy Schuler. Darcy works solely with the 4-H children right here in Saluda County. She's not an area agent. She stays right here in Saluda all the time. She has hit the ground running. She's doing an outstanding job. So I'll turn the floor over to Darcy.
Thank you so much, Travis. And thank you so much to the council members for letting us speak tonight on our jobs, and also specifically with me with Saluda County 4-H and how it positively affects our youth in Saluda County. Again, my name is Darcy Schuler, and I'm the new Saluda County 4-H Extension Agent here in the county. I took the place of Miss Connie Lake that recently retired after 33 years. Since her retirement in June, I continued on her positive youth development programs that have been very positive to our youth in the county. I have also started some new programs based on the needs that were brought up to me by the parents, volunteers, as well as youth. The first one was our after-school community club meetings at the Saluda Elementary and Saluda Middle School. This is the first time that we've had these meetings at this location, and it's been extremely successful so far. We're very excited. We want to have it mirror the Hollywood after-school program, and we not only want to have one this next year, but have 3 to continue to grow with the interest of the students there at the primary and elementary school. We have also been developing and revamping some of the project clubs specifically. This includes beef, dairy, and a youth forestry club based on the youth's interest. In addition to these projects that I have instructed and told you about, our 4-H youth are taking part in state and national competitions as well as events. And tonight I brought with me one of my senior 4-Hers. She has participated in these events as well as competitions this past year and also in years past. And she is currently the South Carolina Healthy Lifestyles Ambassador and the Midlands Regional Representative on the South Carolina State 4-H Teen Council team. I would like her to explain how 4-H has impacted her life and her 4-H years since she's began. Without further ado, I'll introduce Allie Trotter.
Good evening, council members. My name is Allie Trotter. I'm a Saluda County resident and a member of Saluda County 4-H. This evening, I would like to share with you some of my personal 4-H experiences and what 4-H means to not only me, but so many 4-Hers across our state and nation. Let me introduce myself. I'm a 16-year-old, I'm a junior in high school, and a 12th year 4-Her. In 4-H, I participate in the Healthy Lifestyles Project, the Poultry Project, the Barrow Project, Dairy Showing, Dairy Judging. I'm a South Carolina Healthy Lifestyles Ambassador, and I'm also the Midlands Regional Representative on the South Carolina State 4-H Teen Council. I began as a club member at the age of 5 and have participated on the county, state, and national level. I've also competed at the regional, state, and national competitions. As you may know, 4-H plays a big role in our county because of its variety of programming and project areas, which include agriculture and animals, healthy lifestyles, leadership and citizenship, natural resources, personal development, and science, engineering, and technology. Programs begin for children ages 5 and up. Some areas have even younger participants. In Saluda County, as we grow in 4-H, our participation evolves into leadership. As young teens, we begin assisting with summer programs, 4-H meetings, and 4-H programs presented in Saluda County schools. We also share with the community, such as Teen Club's annual bingo at the Saluda Nursing Center, and we have had opportunities to decorate the Senior Center, as well as provide a rotation of nutrition demonstrations to our senior citizens. We have assisted with setting up for the Cattlemen's Banquet, as well as Farm City events. Outside of our community, we have presented programming and demonstrations at the South Carolina State Fair, at South Carolina 4-H summits and workshops, and at National 4-H summits in Washington, D.C. So how did I get my start in 4-H? I began attending monthly club meetings where we had fun activities, but we were also learning. I also participated in the summer programs that were available at the time, which were Kids in the Kitchen, Sewing, and Robotics. Next, my family began participating in the poultry project, where we were provided with a flock of day-old chicks to raise and care for. We learned about the needs for the chicks, housing, feed requirements, diseases, and the qualities of a healthy chicken. We also attended showmanship clinics and learned how to work with our chickens to prepare them for the Saluda County poultry sale. In the poultry project, each participant returns a portion of their mature flock to be sold at the Saluda County poultry sale. This provides each participant with an opportunity to give back to the 4-H program and then offers quality birds to sell to the community. This program is an excellent way for families to learn about raising livestock on a scale that works for living in town as well as families that have much larger land. It is a great introduction to livestock and often leads to other project areas. 4-H provides so many opportunities for youth to get involved in and grow. And Healthy Lifestyles is another program that has been a big part of my life. What began with summer kids in the kitchen classes has transitioned into Healthy Lifestyles competitions at the region and state level. As a senior competitor, my team won the state Healthy Lifestyles competition at the South Carolina State Fair and had the opportunity to attend the Great American Seafood Cook-Off 4-H edition and held in New Orleans, Louisiana. We were the 3rd team from our state to have the opportunity to attend. My team was the first to place first place in New Orleans. It was such an honor. It was truly an honor to represent South Carolina and Saluda County at a national event. Winning the competition was absolutely amazing. I would love to tell you more about Healthy Lifestyles and the journey to the national competition, but what I feel most important is to share with you the only way it was possible. Remaining involved, taking advantage of opportunities available, and building on what I had learned provided skills necessary to compete successfully. We are so fortunate in Saluda County to have had a consistent program available. Healthy Lifestyles has been more than just a competition for me. This has also been my programmer's choice as a South Carolina 4-H ambassador. An ambassador is a team that has the opportunity to get involved with promoting 4-H in your county and state. We currently have 4 Saluda teams serving as ambassadors. Ambassadors select a project area and attend training workshops to increase their knowledge and skills. Through sharing with teams from other counties, we increase our knowledge and skills. Through sharing, we gain knowledge. As a 3rd-year Healthy Lifestyles ambassador, I have had the opportunity to give cooking demonstrations at the South Carolina State Fair and assist the State Healthy Lifestyles Director at summer camps and other events. I have attended the South Carolina State Healthy Lifestyle Summit and National Healthy Living Summit in Washington, D.C. Saluda County has been a presenter at both state and national summits, where we shared about how we have successfully implemented nutrition and cooking programs in our county. When people think of 4-H, they often think of livestock programs, and Saluda County has quite the legacy. Our country roots run deep in the dairy and beef industries, and we have a reputation of excellence in 4-H. Raising and showing large livestock is not always feasible for families, but any youth can get involved with livestock and dairy judging. Access to local dairies and generations of dairy judging experience is a tremendous advantage to Saluda County. I have no idea I would learn all that I have when I decided to try dairy judging. We spent hours preparing at the extension office, learning anatomy and terms, but going to the farm and having hands-on work with the cows was really where we were able to learn. Not only were we able to work with the cows, but we had several generations of showmanship and judging experience available to help us learn. Dairy judging was a new experience, and I did my best to prepare for the competition. I invested additional hours at home studying, researching, and practicing. I truly wanted to place well. Because of the dedication and support of others, I was able to develop my knowledge and skills and place 2nd overall at the state dairy judging competition. I would like to mention a fellow Saluda County team member was the 1st place overall winner. We qualified to advance to the national level, and our team had the opportunity to compete at the dairy judging competition at the North American International Livestock Exposition in Louisville, Kentucky. Now that I have shared some of my 4-H successes with you, hopes that you will understand how much 4-H can impact children and youth in our community. 4-H is the largest youth development program in the nation. Any child or youth can become involved. Most programs are offered at no cost, and the annual membership fee is a minimum $10, which includes a t-shirt. What often began as learning activities at club meetings can lead to once-in-a-lifetime opportunities and experiences. As I mentioned, Saluda County teams participated in 2 national competitions in 2018. At the 2018 South Carolina State 4-H Congress, Saluda County award recipients included 3 national Congress winners, 1 national conference winner, and 3 of the highest awards in 4-H, the prestigious Presidential Tray. These awards included a total of 4 sponsored national trips and $8,500 in college scholarships. National Congress winners are awarded on outstanding accomplishments in 4-H projects and activities. 9 youth from across our state were selected to attend National Congress in Atlanta, Georgia, along with a $500 scholarship that is applied to their first year of college. 3 of the 9 were Saluda County 4-Hers. National Conference winners are awarded on outstanding achievements in leadership and citizenship. 4 youth from across our state were selected to receive the sponsored trip to the National Conference in Washington, D.C., along with a $1,000 scholarship that is applied to first year of college. 1 of those 4 was a Saluda County 4-Her. The Presidential Tray winners are awarded on accomplishments in 4-H, citizenship, leadership, and project work. 4 youth from across South Carolina were selected to receive the coveted Presidential Tray and a $2,000 scholarship that is also applied to their years in college. 3 of the 4 recipients were from Saluda County. I would like to point out that 2018 was no exception. Saluda County 4-H members are strong competition for these awards every year. This is a testimony to the program we have here in our county. If you listen to an older 4-Her or alumni share about their experiences, you will often hear them say they would not be where they are today without 4-H. You will hear how they gained confidence and knowledge and how it prepared them for their next step in life, college, or professional world. You will feel their emotion and passion as they share about the tremendous impact of 4-H. They will return to 4-H with their children and be involved as parents and volunteers. The support from our community makes it possible for programs to be available to youth who want to participate in opportunities in 4-H offers. Thank you for your time this evening and allowing me to share with you about 4-H from Saluda County.
Thank you, that was very informative.
I'm a competitor, and I want to see this county stay on top. I will just assure you that any funding that we receive from this county will only just help us to make us do our jobs better, and to make sure that Saluda County, Clemson Extension, Saluda County 4-H stays where it needs to. Thank you very much for your time tonight.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add, Allie, along with her long resume, also helps our young people at church with special music and all. So she's got a long list, including what she does at her church as well. Thank you.
Travis, could you come back to the
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Calling you out now.
That's all right.
There was, what was in the request this past budget year that, I know that's why you're here, is because when we did our budget this year, we cut all outside agencies. And there was a reason for that, because we were trying to get our budget intact and then where it should be, because we've borrowed money from our reserves for several years. Another reason we did this was to find out who really needed our funds. Because there's a lot of people out there that don't really need money, but they're standing there if you're going to give it out freely. Do you remember what your request was this past year?
Yes, sir. Our request was $4,000.
$4,000. I'm going to put a motion before the council and then if you'll hang with me just a minute because there may be some questions, okay?
Yes, sir, sir.
This time I'll entertain a motion to fund the Saluda County Clemson Extension Service $4,000 for fiscal year 2018-2019 to be funded from contingency. Do I have a motion?
Okay.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Right. She was talking about people that had been in 4-H, and I was sitting here smiling the whole time because I was going through the pledge, and all those things. I was in 4-H all the way through school, and it is an awesome program. I couldn't help but smile to hear we had DPA back in my day, where district project achievement and state congress, all those things, and I was thinking of my trips and stuff while she was talking. We won't talk about all the trouble I got in while I was on these trips. But I do agree it is a very valuable program. Is there any questions, any discussion anyone would like?
I'd like to say I learned a whole lot more about 4-H tonight than I think I've ever known. You did a really good job with that speech that you prepared for us. Can I ask, you know, we didn't fund you last year. How did that affect you in your goals and other duties or concerns?
Sure. So the Cooperative Extension Service was set up to be funded nationally, state, and then on a county level. So when we lost the county funding, we had to pull money from other pots of money that we use for our travel, to go out in the field or go to classrooms, to pay the phone bill, or to make sure that our doors were just simply open, you know, for a 40-hour-a-week period. Back in 2009, when the state went through its budget crisis, was when the extension service was cut on the state level. South Carolina was actually one of the first states to feel that impact and to take those cuts. And at that point in time, that's when we lost our administrative assistant. So a lot of Saluda County residents who were used to coming to the extension office, there was someone there, the door was open, you know, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, 8:30 to 4:30. They came to a closed door. So we want to make sure that we don't get back in that shape, and the county funding is going to help that, because if we're ever in a budget crisis from a state standpoint again, the state's going to, or the extension service in Clemson is going to look at the counties who aren't receiving county funding, and those are the ones that are going to lose their administrative assistants first. If we lose our admin, it's Darcy and I who are now sitting in the office answering phones and can't be in the field or in the classroom, you know, actually doing our job. So to answer your question, when we lost the county money, we had to pull from our travel, we had to pull from our program accounts to pay things like the phone bill. We do a lot of mailings out of the extension office, so we use county appropriated money to help with those mailings. If we don't get county money, we have to pull from our program money. So essentially, programs get cut.
Me personally, I know what Clemson Extension Service do. I thank you for the ambassador to the state that represents Saluda County. Thank you.
If there's anything we need to be investing our money in, it's our young people. And this is a great program, has been for years. This is an agricultural county.
Yes, sir.
All right, if there's no further discussion, we'll take a vote. District 1, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 2, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 3, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 4, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I, as chairman, vote yes.
Thank you very much.
Motion is passed.
Thank you.
Now, I would like also, though, before you leave tonight, to give you my email address, because I want to know what's going on in Saluda County, because honestly, I didn't realize there was that much actually in the county going on with 4-H. So I'd love to be involved if you'll contact me.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Thank you again.
Agent Travis,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
also interested in the seafood. Just call me and
We will. Thank you again.
Thank you again.
Yes, sir.
All right, at this time, our last on the agenda before executive session, I'd like to recognize Edgar Lamb and Stanley Fulmer for expression of thanks and request for financial assistance for the Palmetto Tractor Club.
Well, thank you for allowing us just a few minutes. I might tell you this, and with the 4-H deal, I don't know whether you know, our vice chairman is very active and helped out with 4-H. You heard about the story about when they went out with the young fellows camping, and it was getting kinda late, and the mosquitoes were coming to the, campsites, you know, and Mr. Frank said, well, tell you what, let's cut out the lights and all and turn in, and the mosquitoes won't come, and about a few seconds or a minute or two, the little fellow said, Mr. Frank, it's too late, they're still coming, and they got flashlights. Anyway, I don't know if y'all included in the pack, really this is a twofold, or you can say a threefold presentation, where you included in the packet that I will tell you, okay. But anyway, we did this, number one, each year, and we appreciate, that's the main thing, we wanna let you know, and some of your new council members, that, Family Tax Club has been assisted greatly for a number of years by your accommodation grant, and it's greatly appreciated. Part of that grant was a report of how we spent the last funds. Well, that's one of the big parts of this, and on page, what is it, 2? Page 2 is how we spent the funds. And we felt that was an obligation that we had. You were good enough to give it to us. Let you know what did we do with it. And that's number one. And number two is to express our appreciation. I know everywhere funding is tight. If there's any available, we would appreciate it. But our main focus is to come here and tell you how much it means to us and we're proud to be a Saluda County club, and we appreciate the support we've been given. And I don't mean to ramble on and we've got.
Sounds good, man.
But that's all, really. I mean, if there's any questions or anything, of course, we'll be glad to try to answer, or we'll buffalo you.
Mr. Durgan, I know what y'all do. I mean, y'all take the banner across not only Saluda County, but you go across into other counties.
We actually have members in 7 counties.
I understand, I mean, y'all are local, and funds are tight. You deal with old antique tractors.
An old antique too.
Yeah. I understand.
But anyway, the main focus is to say thank you. Those of you that have not been on the council for that long, it's been an ongoing thing, and we appreciate not just last year, but the years before that.
I know that when I came on last year, everyone was looking forward to you guys coming to our budget meeting, because,
We'll keep you up with Mr. Frank too, because he's like.
But I did want to say though that we appreciate what you do, and because, and just like the extension service that was here tonight, they are actually in the budget for the county, and what had been provided to you all in several other organizations was an accommodation tax, which is not the actual budget stuff.
We fully understand that, but we want you to know we appreciate it.
Yeah.
We thank you for coming tonight very much.
Yeah.
You gentlemen have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, I'll entertain a motion for council to go into executive session pursuant to section 30-4-70 and 2 and 5 of the South Carolina Code of Laws 1976 as amended, to discuss personnel, contractual, and economic development matters, and to receive legal advice to include: 1, in the personnel department in the delinquent tax collector department, personnel in the public buildings department, personnel in the RD grant project, and 4, an economic development matter concerning Roya, and to return at the call of the chair. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Now we'll call for the vote. District 1, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 2, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 3, how do you vote?
Yes.
District 4, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I, as chair,